Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Today I'm streaming Cities Skylines 2 on release day, for me at least. Today we'll be starting a new city. This will be not my first time playing Cities Skylines 2. I have played it just a bit before to figure it out, but I'm still pretty fresh. Now, if you're wondering what hardware I'm using, it's not really good. It's a Ryzen 7 2700X and a 6700 XT. I have done some testing though, and the performance wouldn't be that bad. Now I'm gonna choose this map called Archipelago Heaven. This is the main map that most of the YouTubers have used. There's also a few others like San Francisco and Tampere. Also I played on Great Highlands. That's pretty fun of a map. Warway Pass. But currently the main one is Archipelago Heaven. So let's start. So let's try North American. Just create a random name for now. I can pick a name later whenever I want. Left-hand traffic, of course. I'm not gonna have natural disasters on. I'm gonna disable tutorial. These will be turned off. Start game. So now it loads insanely quickly. Considering the size of this game compared to the previous release of Cities Skylines 1, it loads incredibly fast, which is really, really good. Like, it's like insanely good. And here is our map. So we get this half clover interchange, 4-lane road on both sides with a roundabout on one side. So I'm guessing the developers intended me to start on the roundabout side. So let's start. So firstly, these are all of our tools. So we have road tool, power tool, water tool, and zoning tools. So now if you've played Cities Skylines 1, this should be pretty familiar with you. Now just a quick roundabout. We'll just extend this quickly. So let's see the terrain. So I would want this to run past this mountain over here and into this area. So I'm gonna start a curve over here. Let's look at the terrain. Also, there's an indicator of descent, so I want as little of a gradient as possible. I just want to follow the curvature, so 0.5 seems good enough. And then bang. Just like that. So now the road tools for Cities Skylines 2. I have seen on Reddit some people complaining about this. There's no grid markers like the blue dots that you've seen in Cities Skylines 1. Now that's actually pretty good. What road is this? This road is a highway, I suspect. It's slightly different, so I'm going to change it to a normal road. There we go. So in Cities Skylines 1, there would be blue dots to show the grid references. But now in Cities Skylines 2, there ain't no more grid references, because because they now use meters, percents. It's actually just way more better. Right, and I want a quick main road just running down here to this point. So I'll build that now. So in the bottom left corner, you can see that there is a similar toolbar to Cities Skylines 1, where you have your straight line, curved. You now have two complex curve tools. This is the old continuous curve tool, and you've got a new complex turn. You've also got a grid tool now, the normal upgrade tool, and you've got a parallel mode. Now the parallel mode will come in very handy later for building highways. But let's just start off this road over here. Okay. So now another road So now looking at the terrain, we can run another road across like this. So I'm going to do that. Make sure it's centered. Yeah, so Cities Skylines 2, the road tools really like encourage you to, instead of building straight roads and like build a grid city, like have these like soft curves and just have like more natural contours to the environment. So now looking over here, this is a power tower. This is how we're going to power our city for the first few bits. So we're just going to quickly build a quick and dirty transformer station there. power line. I'm just going to run this underground so it doesn't look as ugly. You can see that this is where we would connect, and all of the power is automatically run underneath the street. Very cool. Now let's start building our town center. So this area, I want this area to be more of like a residential zone, so I'll start off with that, I guess. So you can see now you can snap to lanes. So let me just give you a quick demonstration. Let's say I had this 4-lane road. I want to split into two 2-lane roads. So on the left hand I would have this road, and on the right hand side I can have this road, and they would be split nicely instead of the old Cities Skylines 1 where it will be horrifying. It will be like really ugly in Cities Skylines 1. Just trust me on that one. Alright, so I want this area to be my town center, so I'm not going to develop that area yet until I get some more high density buildings. So for now, let's develop this area first. So I just want a simple grid here. Does that line up? Not just a quick, nice and dirty little grid here. Perfect. So now this is quite close together, but I'd reckon it should be fine. Okay, that de-upgraded that road, which is less than optimal, but just move it back like that. Perfect. Now just somewhat match this bend and then bend right into it. That does look very natural. Same on this side, a bit more gentle. And there we go. That's our first grid done. So now, after our first grid is done, now it's time to get some water to run to our city. So we have two options. So we have a few options for water. We can use a water pumping station, which will pump water ostensibly from a body of water. We can use a water tower, just like in Cities Skylines 1. Or we actually have this third option. This groundwater pumping station. Now you can see groundwater here. It can be polluted by industrial zones and stuff. I'm just going to plop this down right here, and it will just use the aquifer below and sewage outlet. Now I'm going to be honest, doesn't really matter where you put it because there's no other options. Right. Now that's done. We have now power and water. Now we can start zoning up. So I've tried the European architecture, but I've never tried North American, so I'm going to put that down. So let's get a bit of commerce and a bit of residential just balanced in there and let it run. So now in the top left corner you can see how much FPS I'm getting. So I'm getting around 35 to 40 FPS right now, and that's on a ultra wide 1080p monitor. So it's effectively what, 75% of 1440p. So this is pretty good like performance. And now you can see our seas being slowly built up. Ooh, cruise ship. Another advantage of Cities Skylines 2 is that you can actually move your camera outside of just like outside of your like buildable zone. So you can like look like, oh, there's a train line here, for example. And like you don't need like just like try and look from your buildable area. Instead you can just straight up just like move around your camera. So now in the bottom right you can see our happiness. So now because we've only got 3 people right now, our happiness isn't really that high because there is no like there ain't anything, I'm gonna be honest. So this is to change from underground to above ground view. But as further construction happens, you see now we have 22 people, and we'll see our RCI bars go up. So now there's a demand for industry. So now, to plan for industry, we need to make sure that the air pollution doesn't spread to the city. So you can see we have a strong wind current that way. So I'd reckon if I construct the industrial zone just around here, it'll be fine. because that way we won't be polluting our current districts. So I'm just gonna change this to a normal road instead of a highway. And straight line. Straight line. Yeah, even though the road tools encourage you not to build like grids for industrial zones, I really cannot find a better way to do it than a grid. And just right like that. Now for industrial zone, I'll just do a quick and dirty grid again. Just like that. So for the grid tool, you can see that it asks me what my length wants to be, so I'll just tell it about there. And it figures everything else out. Will you figure out everything? Hello, please figure it out. So it doesn't really like it sometimes. Like, that's understandable. If I change you to this, will you like me? No. Huh. Okay, let's try that again, but from this side. It's not working that well. So obviously there are still some bugs with the game, considering that this is day one without any patches. But like, it's like way more playable than KSP 2. Like, I'm gonna be honest right now, this is way more playable than KSP 2. Like, I would really prefer, like, Cities Skylines 2 over KSP 2. Oh, I'm just gonna build this grid manually then. Right. Will you do it now? Will you build a grid? Would you like to build a grid? Please just build a grid. There we go. Okay, so obviously still some bugs. But it's like not obvious until you like use the grid tool. Which, I mean, that's unfortunate. Right, so we can also have these other power generation methods like power turbine and stuff. Huh, I just did not connect you. Yep, there we go. We've got electricity now. Sweet. Alright, now more demand for residential. Right, so I think we should span our Nope, the residential demand is just going down. Bye-bye. Now, there is a radio in-game that I'm not using right now, but basically, every, like, few minutes or so, there'll just be, like, this announcement going, like, something, something, something. You've, like, there's an extra something. And then, like you've got extra retail or stuff. And then, like, you would hear that, which is actually like really cool. The voice acting is like really funny. Stop. There we go. Right, so because there's more demand for residential, time to build more residential, I guess. I'll just run this along the highway. I'll just run this along the main road. I won't parallel it or anything, I'll just poorly copy it. There we go. So now you can see, obviously the curves are way more smoother in Cities Skylines 2 than 1. Because of the because of like, in general, the improvement in this game to road building tools. Right, so I just built a small road right there, and let's put more residential down. Now you can see I just saw a tweet that said the water, the sewage, and the power are both not enough. Why are you not working? Consumption 835 kilowatts. Okay, bud. Why are you not importing power? Huh. Oh, I'll just build a coal power plant. No biggie. Right, so now we've got a progression. You can see how big it gets. So now you can like upgrade points, so I can buy like crematorium or stuff. So now I need to build both healthcare, death care, which what was called death care in the old game, but now it's just in the healthcare, and waste management. For now, I'll get the battery station because I am afraid of the power going out. That could be a potential issue that we see. So let's just quickly build a battery station. I'll find somewhere else. But now you can see we're getting this second residential demand, so that's medium density. So now medium density, we just want to quickly put some down. So I think that would actually look pretty good in town center. So I'll just build a boundary road for town center. Quick and dirty like this. Make sure it's 90 degrees. Clip it to that. I'll use alleys in town center because I think their small footprint makes them look nice. Just extend that out a bit. No, one more. Right, so this would be the status quo for the town center for now. So we only have medium density, so let's just put some medium density down. I'll put some retail spaces in as well. I swear there was another grid somewhere. Yes, here. Okay, and now that's the town center. So low density housing demand is still rising at the moment. So we do need to create more low density housing. So let's see. Oh, I got more roads. So the previous roads were 4-lane divided roads. But the 4-lane road is it even cheaper? No, it's not even cheaper. It's just different. Alright, good to know. Anyways, here's roundabouts. Yeah, so you actually get proper roundabouts in Cities Skylines 2. Instead of the lame excuse in Cities Skylines 1 that you get. But now I guess we need to actually build some waste management. So let's get some more building blocks. Sorry, squares. There we go. I'll put the recycling yard at the end here. What are you overlapping? Oh, you're overlapping with that power pylon. Okay, let's just run this to the end here. Perfect. That is a very steep hill. Let's just run this to... Yeah, sure. And then let's just extend this a bit more. Make sure it's straight. And put a roundabout at the end of it. Right, so this is now a waste management center. So let's build an area for it. What are you overlapping? You are not overlapping with anything. Yep, let's just extend to the beach. perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. Absolutely perfect. No issues at all. I cannot foresee any pollution issues whatsoever. Absolutely not. So the red boundary actually marks how far I can go with this. So this can't just be like infinitely big, which is good. But I'd say that's pretty big. And now let's just quickly build some healthcare and death care. Let's put them close to a town center. Death care. So you can see once I pull out the cemetery, my frame rate drops a bit. Like drops a lot to 17 FPS because of like the huge detail. But once I place it down, it ain't half bad. It really ain't half bad. So I like really do not get what people are complaining about when they talk about performance issues, because Cities Skylines 1 did not run great at all. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I know like standards should be higher, right? But like, you guys didn't really care on Cities Skylines 1. I don't get why people are like making such a big deal of performance. Like, it ain't bad. Like, it obviously is quite demanding to run, but that's like similar to every other game this year. I'm not saying that's how it should be, I'm just saying that's how it is. But considering that like Colossal Order did recommend a 3080, and I do not have the money or life will to buy a 3080, it's pretty good. I cannot fault it. There's nothing I can fault it for. Like, obviously there could be like more choice in roads or something. Like, I'm not denying that. There really could be. Right, so now low density, commercial, and industrial are in demand. So let's just get some mixed development areas here. As I don't have public transport right now, my goal really is to just make the city as accessible as possible and not like back up the traffic super high. Do we have any more DPs? No, we do not. Okay. Now that we've done with that, we can start building more industrial areas. So the industrial road would need a curve as well, because the highway is inertly curved. And let's just curve it down here. Oh. Perfect. And now we can get education and a crematorium. So let's save our points. But now I'd reckon that we've now started the city and I've talked about performance. I mean, like, I didn't intend this to be a really long stream. So I'm probably going to end the stream here. And just so you know, Cities Skylines 2 does run pretty well. It is very beautiful, the game. It looks way better than Cities Skylines 1. Like, look at the detail. Holy, look at that detail. Like, imagine seeing this in Cities Skylines 1. And it's like not running at a bad FPS. So Well, I reckon that's the end of the stream. You guys will have a lovely day. I'll see you some other time. Goodbye.